or to just try to bait some shots onto main with the camera on that side and maybe insert a player with it. I think that's the extra piece that you want to add with the Havoc now playing this role of a Cypher instead of a KJ. And it almost looks like we're trying to death ball here. This knife is going to go towards the market to see if we could find some early info. Cameras watching towards Catwalk as well. Yeah, they're double finding that util. So Snow sees it coming down. Now they clear the right side.
Yeah, the knife reveals and teaches in, able to isolate the 1v1. Following up behind the flash doesn't work. PXS holds the lane though, and the paranoia really well played from behind. But Muries, hi, how are you? Finding one actually keeps mid-market as an opportunity for a quick contest.
Yeah, Havoc got hit by his old David's paranoia, so he just ran with his knife out. But they still have player advantage. Now it's even.
Until wait a second. Nice shots from Conan. Yo, 3 straight headshots with the classic. And yeesh, that's one way to finish off an electric pistol.
Shift. I'm laughing right now because this is what I was expecting on Ascent at this point. Because now you have your players playing to the most comfortable role as possible. You're not trying to play anything iffy. You have players onto the jet, just like Dan Dride's mentioning. We're going back into the old tried and true of 2021. And then you're going to have the most highlight reel type of matchup between these two teams who've been quite even in terms of gunfights. When it doesn't have to come down to like just macro, right? When it is going to come down to toe-to-toe fighting, oh man, it's going to be fun to watch.
Wow. Well, quick action here through a main. David just backs away. Doesn't like the look of it, and why would you? And oof, I was gonna say follow-up contact here at B main, and wow, the timing of that trap may have saved a life, but not the case. David Murray's just hanging on, and there, yeah, where are you? What happened? You've got weapons, we've got pistols, and just through the chaos of the smokes and the cyber traps, shots land for Shinden, and they take the anti-eco for the Thrifty.
And that's why you know when even the observers are struggling to pick where the fight is going to happen and which one they want to cover, you know it's going to get chaotic. That's right. I think that's what I'm talking about is what he's saying. Is just we're going to be ready to just play to the way that we want to play, which is just running it down against you. So that push down towards that B main kind of cooked Havoc actually, because he was not expecting for players to push down on that side when they played a 4-1. Great punishes to that point, and then a beautiful crossfire setup on the A site. Now it's an eco back for Solid. They have their own shares to work with, and they're splitting towards the A site.
Shots land for Snow this time. Follow up. Ooh, would have been a heck of a flick, but doesn't matter as Muries is right there to find more to defend the A site. Try as you may with the classic at that range, not gonna work out, and nothing for Conan. Off to the races here. I mean, sheesh, these first 3 rounds could not have been quicker.
We're gonna have an Ascent map that's gonna finish 13-11, but done in 25 minutes. but at least it wasn't as you didn't see any shenanigans or surprises coming out here on the defensive side, or of the defense rather. Sorry, because right now they were trying to get picks for the side of Solid with these sheriffs. They just couldn't get it done. A split util was not good enough to really smother up that A site hold. And now he becomes a very important round for Solid. They lose this one here, they're back into another eco, so this would be a huge round for Shinden as well if they're able to take this, especially with how they've been working that defense since their eco. You're gonna have to slow down the tempo here on the attack side.
Yeah. It just feels like we need some structure right now if your team's Solid. Oh, Snow! Oh, goodness. There is the world to hit, and as they separate, he hits nothing with the first shot. DJD's got a lot of the damage from the second, but is still alive to tell the tale.
Snow got melted.
Yeah, Vi through the middle. Whoa, DJ's able to actually find 2. PXS follows up for his trade, and now it's just down to Ruben, and all of a sudden 1v3.
Are we playing skirmish mode right now?
Hard to tell. Hard to tell.
And they pivot correctly here because of the insert also from Rafa. So there will become a open plant right now for Solid to take. As we just mentioned, they needed to win this round here. If not, it was back onto an eco. So 300 credits will go across the board. You know, at least right now that you have a choice for Rukoide. You could go for it and do some more econ damage on your side because everybody could buy on to the next. Or you might want to save the weapon so you could get the op out for Snow in the next round. Might be a little bit of both. Do the damage. Snow could probably buy him. He buys the op for Snow, and then they're still in a good spot. So right now, you're just trying to contain everybody towards this site. Man, at this rate, maybe even win the round.
Yeah, facts, honestly. But no. 2-2 will be the count. And the eco is just all over the place right now. I mean, which is how, and that's often the case through like the first 6 rounds once an anti-eco gets punished or at least turned away. So the weapon saved is not insignificant here for the defenders, but a good bounce back here from Solid to put themselves at least in some level of control as we continue forward in this first half.
Yeah, but losing that third weapon is going to hurt though. Right now, I saw a couple of them with the round that they just won. They'll be at 3,300. They saved a Guardian instead of one of the rifles towards the end. So you keep that Guardian. Small shields now, and there's the yacht coming out here. So it's purchased by Rukoide onto Snow. Snow is going to look for the line here towards B main. So, or you have an early Owl drone to clear out that spot.
Yeah.
Or you recon. It's a recon.
Yeah, recon's going to come through. But no intention towards threatening B main for Solid.
Correct.
Instead, it's Hunter's Fury to open the doors. And, oh, man, the null command does not hit in time. That's tough. And, well, maybe. I don't know if you can fully cross onto this right now if you're David.
TP across, bro. Go help him.
You would think he should, but, I mean, hello? I guess it's just because you have no positional control at tree. You really can't threaten that, but he's going to look back at this and say, damn, I really missed a window there.
That's exactly the reason why. You're absolutely right. But now at least he TP's out. Now it could be a big TP, so you add the element of surprise.
Whoa. Whoa, okay. Yeah. Solid is showing back up. And if you're Rube, yeah, that damage is enough to say, nope, no thank you, I'm out of here.
Get out of there. Yep.
Exactly.
That triple push towards the tree after the initial hit towards A main. I like that. It was just looking on the side here of Shinden, you committed so much into holding a tight angle instead of an aggressive angle towards that B main that you kind of just forfeit the spot of trying to get the info on towards middle, right? So you can't really get the op on that side. You don't really know where, if it's going to be a re-hit towards the A site, if they're pivoting to a different angle, because since you've lost already Maurice towards the door, David can't really help out to try to find like some audio info or calls of where the rest of the rotate could be here from Solid. So yeah, just a beautiful mid-round take.
Yeah,
Recon even hit two, by the way.
What's that?
In terms of, Recon even got information on 2 players inside the site.
Yeah. That interaction with the null command was very tight.
Yeah.
Very, very tight. I think it's because what? Because he starts the channel of the second hit. It doesn't deny it. Like,
I just have to look. Maybe even the range of the null command. I don't know if you're just outside of it too.
It looked like he got like I could have sworn I saw the suppression icon on him, but it happens quick, friends.
There's the mid control he's taken by Solid side. The op's still available for Snow, so they're still trying to snuff him out early. The thing is, you need that drone to come in towards B main, which you don't have. So if you're gonna try to walk for B main control, you might get choked here.
That is a valuable alarm bot, though. And Shinden will back up in towards site. A little bit of assistance on the cross. Their defensive spawn and a huge opening shot from Snow. Vi trying to hang on. Has the Hunter's Fury if they need it. But gets pushed out.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden Solid's got defensive spawn control, and they can actually rotate back to A pretty freely. The only bit of good news is that Muriz is aware of this potential, and he may blindside one, but no, the shot doesn't land.
Why is he going to blindside? He's playing KO.
I see what you did there. That's a VALORANT abilities joke. Hello. Recon bolts your feet. Hey, how are you? Yeah, I'm pretty good too. Thanks for asking. 3 and I don't know what that is, but I'm him.
I'm the one. Yeah, I'm him. I'm him. Yeah, but I love what they just did there on the attack side. The way that they pushed out from the op towards the back of the side. I was wondering where the flash was going here, because once we had that swing out right over here, that Rafa falls, I was like, where is the flash from DXS to help out? It was super late, but he finds the timing towards the spawn, and as he gets that pick, it allows everybody else to just pivot through middle and work out and catch Rafa off guard. So it's quite nice how that was played. You play inserts, you kind of rotate again from Conan, and now you're actually getting some pretty decent rounds on your attack side here for Solid. Where, again, if you're looking back on paper, you're playing the most basic comp right now. So if you're going to play basic comp on a map like this, it should tend more towards being defender sided. But you are finding so many good gaps on your attack side for Team Solid so far.
All right. Time to discuss, time to come back and see if things will start to level out a touch. Small momentum boost here for Solid in the last couple. Shinden started this off nicely, but again, I always find it really difficult to like get an evaluation on a half of Valorant when the anti-eco doesn't come through and the whole financial economy just goes haywire. Yeah. Because really you're not playing at full force until like round 6. So 3 in a row for Solid, yes, but some of that is not indicative of how the eco has moved around a touch. And this is going to be, I think, a round that is super important to identify what exactly these teams believe is most successful for them.
You're absolutely right. I think that's why you had the timeout, because it got so chaotic in the first few rounds of thrifties to try to just brute force to get plants. But now that the economy's right, we're getting into the meat of this Valorant match on this third map now. So this is why you're seeing more defaults here on the side of Solid, trying to find where some players could be at if they could still find the opper. So far, they saw the alarm bot moving up towards middle, and that space could be gained. Oh my god, why? Oh, you moved. A rare miss by Digizine.
It's got the knives out to follow from the shadows just to try to scope a little bit. Rafa, I don't know if you're really able to confirm much with that. Yeah, you know a player's on site, but of course there is. Timing of this counter flash is brilliant, but the knife reveals more. But DG still connects, looking for more. Hunter's Fury trying to push him a little further out. Havoc actually the one to get connected to on that, but the suppression stops the third. So there's our second interaction between Hunter's Fury and Null Command as Snow hits his shot. DG able to respond, but can the res fully come through? No, Snow is perfectly ready for it. The paranoia is not there in time, but the knives are. I mean, mercy to our observers right now, because holy cannoli. 1v2, Murray's coming in from the defensive spawn.
All right, at least the good old 1-on-1 rule of observing. It's a 1 versus X. You just got to stay on Marie's.
Yeah.
So we're fine. We're going to follow the action now.
Knife reveals 1. And as you clear sidewalk, you should know that DG's playing in the back, but it does not make a difference. And that time DG hits his chest and says, yeah, that is me. You're right. Okay, got you.
And now I just want to highlight how good the macro is of that round for Team Solid here. It might seem like a small detail, but the owl drone going into Pizza and then seeing where the alarm bot is at, but you're not breaking it with a shock dart, it gives you an opportunity to know where the alarm bot's placed. So you can just start creeping up around that radius, which is why Havoc kind of just insert himself into Pizza, and you can start cutting rotates when you're making noise towards Cat and Tree on the attack side. The only thing that foiled his plans, though, was the Hunter's Fury was trying to go after Digizine, but it pinged him, so it forced his hand out. But if not, the macro around how they worked that map on the attack was beautiful for Solid.
Well, Solid is starting to cook, have a financial economy that is lucrative, to put it plainly. Knives, though, out for Snow, a little late in the round here, as the op will reveal itself over towards Cat. Bold peek from Snow. You want to think he's feeling confident. Aldrin will push the play back, though, and Shinden will reset.
He even wasted out the dash, so now it gives an opportunity for Solid to just, like you said, cut noise default back and trying to figure out here where the players could be leading into these stacks. So waiting for the next wave of refreshables to move up, group up as a team. Looks to be a finish towards the A site. Same type of play here. Make that noise, try to get Havoc inserted. He's trying to find the camera too. Just baiting out the sound here to just make them think that they're trying to lean towards that B side.
Well, here's the initial surge of utility.
30 seconds
Oh,
left.
what a counter flash that would have been for Muri's. It looked like it was perfectly timed, but could not hit. Snow finds one, has an opportunity to pick up a weapon, but instead is trying to move swiftly to the backside of the play. It's going to be a meeting of the Jets. Knives versus weapons. Wow, DG, again, another rare miss. Hit that one queued up perfectly. Smokes will replace as the spike gets planted. The defense will try to take a moment to try to control the timing and the space, but now they've lost Snow, and your only muse of entry would be from the front or through Tree, but no one's watching Tree. Hello? No one's watching it. So they walk right on in, find 2 kills. DG has to hit and does. And then on the flip side, Conan, bottom side, Hell will make sure that all of the rest of the antics are swatted aside.
Yeah, thankfully there was still one last line of defense inside that site. But somebody had to be watching that Tree flood back in first, but it seems like it wasn't the case. That TP on top of Generator was a little bit overzealous again, as it's trying to find the surprise kill onto Heaven. But look how this allows here just the defensive side to flood through and get that type of pick right there from David. But you just mentioned the out shots being missed here by Digizine in the first place when he was going toe-to-toe against Snow. He didn't have a chance to opt yet in the series, really, so he's still trying to warm up, I guess.
Good
But
point.
at least his
Good
second
point.
shots are always hitting.
Yep. Snow pushed off by the knife, but doesn't reveal him. Defense going to spend the knife of their own to see if there's any push-up. Not the case, but that's one of those, like, I really want my angle back, but, like, I don't have the ability to really clear that for Sirs, but I still want it, so I'm going to ego it, and, yeah, you get punished. 5v3, major advantage for Team Solid.
It just feels like I'm watching Bind, but this time the roles reversed. We're trying to swing out for fights and trying to just catch this aggression coming out from Team Solid, who has been, you know, kind of working the middle quite early in these rounds. So you're trying to punish that. So I respect that. But at the same time, you don't have too much util to support in the first place to fight the way that you want to. Is where, you know, those not necessarily gaps are showing. It's just creating
Oof. Well,
like we're not even checking our corners. Even look at this.
Yep.
Everybody's getting caught with their pants down.
I mean, I think it was Roy on the desk said there's going to be major swings in these Pack 2 maps, but didn't expect them like this.
Yeah, it fell off the swing for sure.
Tire swing or regular swing?
I'm not a tire swing guy. I was afraid of tire swings as a kid. Yeah.
Damn, that's so Canadian of you.
There's no real balance on the tire, so you're just like you're stressing out when you're going
What
like
do you mean?
when you're at the high apex.
You sit inside the hole, fans.
Oh no! I get stuck in that.
Oh. Apologies.
I like the banana shaped ones because you get so much height out of that, and you can even jump off it. You can't jump off the tire swings. Your butt gets stuck. You're trying to jump out. Sometimes you just miss and you face plant forward. Just like right now, how this team is face planting.
The fact that you tried to pull that back into a map specific reference is just, you're different. You're different for that.
They need to start using the banana swing after this time out here.
Yikes.
For Team Shinden.
Oh, man. Well, Shinden, you're right. They need something here, and they need it quickly because the defense is falling apart, and that is just not the trend that we've seen on this map, flat out.
And it's dangerous. You've used both of your timeouts on the defensive side, where technically you should get the results out of it, right? With this type of composition and this type of mirror match. So right now you don't have too much to work with anymore. But it also makes sense that you're pressing a red alert earlier than later, because remember what we mentioned at the early on top of the show. You lose 2 and you're out, so you need to at least try to win as much as you can. You don't want to fall down into that quote-unquote lower bracket right away.
Furies just playing the angle until it's a little back off flash. You at least get the cue of the jump, and okay, nice shot from Furies. Can back up into the site, has Vi nearby to possibly stall, as the fragment will come first. Shock dart's likely to follow if need be. But this position at mid is a lucrative one for Team Solid, and they know it.
That's why all the KJ utils are holding towards the A site, so there's nothing on middle. So the insert's perfect. You could still pinch back on the side. You're watching the flank. Now you're trying to make noise here on tree as well. Oh, but it's a shotgun on the other side. The Bucky waited by Snow.
Yeah, Snow is like, please, I double dog dare you. Later. Thanks for playing. And yeah, now you stop it. Now you gotta make the play on the B. Paranoia cuts across for the defense, and honestly, this is solid. Completely caught off guard. DJ's doing a nice job finding some significant damage. If there was ever a world for a 1v5,
It
I'm
would
coping.
be Digizine.
It would, and I'm coping.
10 seconds left. Not happening.
Not happening, and not with that shot landing. Unless you line up here and you hit a headshot. Nope, we tried for it, but no, instead it's a thrifty, and you didn't anticipate that one if you're Shinden, but you're happy to have it.
Man, that's... Again, the insert was perfect on that side, but I'm not too sure why we're trying to walk contact up into tree. And especially when this map has been around for such a long time, and you're from a region where, you know, when you're thinking about Loud, for example, at this spot, who will you think of? Sadak, pretty much, right? He's Argentinian, but playing for the Loud team in Brazil. He's playing a judge. He's playing a shotgun there, and he gets so much value. So you can't really walk into that spot and just try to clear an angle. Especially you're a KO, you could pop flash for your team for the re-hit into the B site if it does continue to get chaotic. So that was a little bit of a miss. A timeout that was supposed to be for this round for Shinden allows for them to have a little bit of room to breathe here to maybe close that gap now within their rifle round.
Yeah. Well, this is a lot being thrown over to the controller of Shinden. David's just going to back away, play inside the site, call for help, take some damage on the way out. But the Paranoia does what it's intended to do, and that's back off the initial execute. Door will shut, and the defense can kind of just bunker up inside A.
But again, it's all of KJ's utility over towards this A side, so there's a gap towards middle. So you're always going to have to keep somebody posted up on the back lines. So Havoc now feels that he has some sort of a timing. A second smoke, maybe a smoke being thrown towards M3 would allow TSS to... Oh, it's a cage instead. Well, we're going to move into the B site now, and you're solo on B.
But there's a teleport available for David. Doesn't commit to it, though. The sound cue off the alt alone is enough to pull Team Solid back.
Okay.
And now you're going into the Killjoy setup, like you mentioned.
You're trying to pull rotates here so that Havoc can get these kills last second, but the rest of the team has to commit towards A where there's 3 players there.
Yep. That kill essentially amounts for nothing because the defense on A is still pretty solid. 2 for 1 the exchange. Vi able to find one of the lurkers, but the spike will be planted at the last second. 2v3, and we're gonna wait for Vi to come into the play. Doesn't have any utility for now, but the recon bolt, yeah, I was gonna say, should be close to being charged, and as I start to consider it, it does come through. Knife will reveal 2. But the recon bolt comes out. So now it's just down to, can you hit the shots through the wall? PXS has to just hold the scope up. DJ's in. Nice opener. 2v2 situation. Up and over. What a set of shots for PXS. And bang! DJ's in. Hits the falling shot on Devi to go up 8-3.
Dude, how did it let PSS plant inside the generator?
Same.
They had the perfect 3-player stack on that site. It was going to be a Melons moment for the side of Solid as well. Because I respect the fact that you're playing inserts at the top, but now you're doing this with 30 seconds left instead of trying to do it at the minute mark. So you're forcing your hand to just run into a stack, even like, as you mentioned. Exactly, Shift. The kill that he gets towards B is not valuable because he's not there with the rest of the team if everybody dies on the A side. Somehow, PXS gets a plant when Digizine's still far back, and they win a 2 versus 3.
And now you're in a 4 spy with Stingers and Op. No command. I mean, well, you know, I'm looking at the weapons and my caster monkey brain says not good, but you've got Hunter's Fury, you've got Lockdown, you've got Null Command, you've got a lot of opportunity to try to play off this if you're Shinden. But DJ's is feeling it, my man. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Up and over through the window for 2. And never mind. Monkey caster brain's good. 5-3. Advantage to Team Solid.
Oh, you gotta start grunting and how do you call it? What do monkeys do?
Ooga booga knife kill, yeah.
Oh, knife kill, up. No, if anything though, just Snow running across there, just getting picked, just trying to find a position into tree was a little bit off. Kilted for the side here of Shinden, and now they have to play a retake 3 versus 5 when the Null Command really stopped everything in their tracks. They have a checkmate with the Hunter's Fury as well, although Conan's still trying to find the moment to move into a safer spot.
Gotta hit a shot. Good fragment. Whoa, a little bit of chip damage on the Havoc as well. Puts himself into the danger zone, but Deej is in. Oh, brother. This is about as nice as it gets. Do we get the ace?
They want to give it to him. They want to give it to him.
They definitely do, but Murias may not give him a chance. You got to go for it. You can't save until next round, and Rafa, boo hiss, able to steal it away, but it's still a huge first half for the side of Team Solid.
At least he's laughing about it, right? He's not angry that he got his ace stolen, because that would have been a free one for sure. He was about to jump out to try to get that pick. He was also low on HP, so you don't want to run into any shenanigans. You are, of course, trying to play for Ascension to try to move back into partnership for this whole roster who has tasted the biggest stage in Americas in the last couple of years. Now coming back with a vengeance after losing their own map pick on that second map. They're looking rather formidable here on the attack.
Oh, and they're soaking up the fans. Why not? Interview ready as we go down to the floor inside of Brazil.
I'm here with AMD, former pro, former caster, and Rafa's wife. Amiga, como é que tá sendo acompanhar de perto essa campanha, a preparação do Rafa, da Team Solid? Foi longo caminho aí nesses últimos meses.
A gente veio com uma classificação assim muito em cima da hora, não tinha chance para errar. Conseguimos a classificação e agora acreditar de novo que mais uma vez a gente vai levar mais um caneco. Minha estante tá pesada já, viu?
She said, I asked her how it was like to watch their preparation, their journey, and she said it was a tough last few months, very hard for them. They had little room to mistakes to be here, and she wants another trophy in the shelves, and the shelves are not holding that much trophies. E amiga, o que aconteceu na bind? Fiquei preocupado, até falei com você, não dá pra perder a bind, mano. É o melhor mapa dos caras, o pior mapa dos outros ali, por que deu ruim?
Eu vou falar bem a verdade pra você, né?
Por quê?
Pinadeira, nós pinamos tudo ali, tomamos gap, 2 alp ali, anulou a gente. A gente não conseguiu dominar espaço, né? E pra composição que a gente propôs de 2 duelistas, o ataque tinha que ser melhor, né? 3 rounds só. Então ali sofremos, mas aparentemente a cabeça já tá de volta no lugar.
Que bom. As a bind, it was Solid's best map. What happened? She said they whiffled a lot. They couldn't hold the spaces, get their spaces. But now they had on their place again, and they're playing really well. É isso, amiga. Vambora. Vambora, vambora. E bora de volta pro jogo, vai acabar.
Love to see the crowd interaction at Ascension. Woo! 9-3 half. Let's swap the sides and go again. I wouldn't say it's a must-win pistol, but you'd love to have it if you're Shinden. And to be fair, they've looked really good in their pistols. A couple of clutch moments for Team Solid, but Shinden has, you know, they've been good in pistols.
Not only their pistol rounds, but their ecos as well. So,
big time.
Yeah, when they're wielding pistols, they still have a chance. 5 ghosts across the board for them too on the attack side. So that means not too much utility to work with, especially not even investing into a paranoia for David. So this seems to be a slow round and go for long-range battles here on mid-control if I could think about something there that I would do with these ghosts. Because you're definitely not going to be exploding into a site. Maurice only has 1 flash to work with, but they need to get the initial space first, and that's how you start it. Go for picks, get these ones. Digicine falls.
And this is what Shinden has done well in their pistols, is they're really good at playing with numbers when they get them for free. Wow, Havoc just steps up and says, bet, shift. Chow that real quick. Rafa will fall. And the follow-up from Shinden is, I will say, they received this really nicely. Havoc is on 10 HP in a dream in a 1v3.
We are definitely playing skirmish right now. That is another one of those big battles on middle. I thought it was a huge advantage, though, for TSS because PXS actually did invest into util to help out, blinded some players who were still too good on the trades here for Shinden for trading back on top middle for the players that weren't affected by the flash. And yeah, 10 HP, I agree with you, Shift. This is a very big ask. Especially now that he's guessed towards that wrong site. So Shinden, to me, will have room to breathe once again. But we've seen as well as much as we commended Shinden's pistol rounds, Solid has also had some pretty good thrifties on their own end. Just think about this map in itself.
Correct. Well, Vi will finish off the pistol. That'll get us to 9-4. And coming from the offensive side, Shinden should not be forcing any or facing any force buy, you would think. So You would assume, based on how they've played so far, that this anti-eco should be pretty comfortable as well. But, I mean, hey, we've already seen that TSS are willing to spend to try to get an advantage, and I'm not going to say that they won't do it again, but yeah, you got two flex picks in terms of weaponry. You got one Sheriff, one Shorty in the mix, so who knows, maybe.
That was the thing. I think I was wondering what the decision was going to be here for Solid. Is somebody else going to be wielding the Sheriff outside of Digizine? Because I'd like to keep the 800 credits to build into the op as soon as possible. But he is going to wield it, and he'll play the bait and switch inside Wine instead, and hoping that that's going to muster up a bit of the ROI into the Sheriff buy. And that's PXS jiggling and being selfless for that. He's going to have to break that drone, but breaking a drone early like this, you have to have some sort of a inkling that somebody's hiding towards Wine. And
they do. Nah, they get out, but 11 HP, barely. So now you start to clear your angles and get to work if you're Shinden. Focus towards mid just in case. Rafa is full HP. I looked for timing, doesn't work, but whoa, Digizine does find one. Not as much as he was hoping for when he purchased the Sheriff, but one nonetheless.
800.
And that'll do it.
It looks pretty clean towards the end. I was questioning and scratching my head a little bit on the Rafa peak on the Shorty there onto tree, but it's really just to try to bait it so that Digizine has value with the Sheriff and surprises some players. Fortune couldn't line up too. Now Conan and Havoc not looking to make this expensive here for Shinden. Got hit by the knife too, but still in a good position to just explode to the spike. Meanwhile, you're trying to think on the side of Shinden. Somebody's got to maybe take the Marshal for, or give the Marshal to Marie so he can hunt for some kills, try to get that null coming up as soon as possible. But let's say they want to play the Marshal into the next round anyways. I mean, it is in the hands of Rukoide, so.
Yeah. For now, at least.
Yeah.
Okay. The Shinden faithful, live and in person. Boomwhackers in hand. We do love a good boomwhacker. Good audience participation type giveaway, if you want to call it that. Thundersticks. Boomwhacker? Thunderstick? What do you call it in Canada?
Thundersticks.
Thundersticks?
Or clappers. No,
clappers is crazy.
No, it's Thundersticks.
Boomwhackers is crazy too. I don't know where I came up with that. It's got to be some southern thing. I don't know.
Boomwhackers.
I don't know. But the bonus is big here, Vance. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, we got the rifle round coming out here from Team Solid and one playing towards logs. So you're actually seeing here for Solid, they are trying to find some like ninja spots. Oh, did you try to find a timing?
No, that's expensive. Good shock dart. Recon bolt just to try to contest if you need to, but no, instead. Vi's like, we'll take the orb and we'll get out of here with our 5v4.
I think they were able to move in and pick up that rifle yet, at least. So that's the silver lining for the defensive side of Solid. You're playing passive info on the A side and aggressive hold towards Catwalk here for Rafa. He knows better, so he falls back. He can't give up that space. So he's going to have to play the tighter angle, and he can still stack towards the B site here.
Patience has been big for Shinden. We saw it on map 1. Didn't really need to see it on map 2, to be fair, but
30 seconds
executing
left.
off this, Rafa's going to hear a lot of this. How much can you find? Wow, 2 is insane. Paranoia is out. He'll get a little bit of damage before being pushed off the angle. Nanostorm doing some damage, but Havoc reads the teleport. What a response from Team Solid. The cam, the trap, that'll work out for another. And it's just down to Rube with a Vandal in a bonus round that was really starting to build, but instead Rube gets caught. And Team Solid do not want him to get out with this weapon, but they may have to respect it. And what?
Bruh.
Huge kills.
It's a round with super costly. I mean, look at their round now. They can't even buy a rifle. Even the Brazilian crowd's impressed by the play. But Rukoida This is nice at least, and that even for Havoc to go into the Nanostorm to eat that damage because you know he's not going to get melted towards the end, just catch the Omen.
I mean, they win the round, do Team Solid, but like, at what cost? Like,
everything.
yeah.
Sheriff and a Stinger.
Holy cow. Well, here we go. Shinden a chance to try to build on the economy and get this thing back to within manageable deficits. And I think most importantly is like, that's huge for Rube because now he's over halfway to an early lockdown, which you might need if this tally doesn't get tighter.
I'm almost thinking that because you have a lower buy here, I was expecting some sort of maybe a trap play or aggression coming out, but at least the forward position that you have from PXS gives the indication that the pivot is towards this mid B control potentially.
Shadows traveling.
Especially now they hear drone, the smoke's moving up. Both players gonna have to turtle inside the site.
Yep.
But the thing is like this forward position for PXS, he won't be able to be anywhere to help out with util for the team.
No,
Nor the
no,
Omen
no.
Flash,
No, not at all.
which you don't even have.
So it's just down to can you hit your shots. Woof. Whoa, nice shot from DG. But only gets the one. Flank on the way. And the sentry turret is not active or smoked. May not make much of a difference though. This is just a really uphill battle. But honestly, PXS has gotten into a freebie spot. That's a weapon. This isn't over. Hold on here, friends. Muri steps up. Good help from Vi because wow, Conan had an absolute beeline to the quarterback for a sack right there. So now it's just down to PXS and he's been tagged, and that will likely mean no more further antics.
Contain him now. I think this is perfect. Don't try to run down. Keep him outside. They're going to be running out.
Whoa.
Fortunately, you cannot get more. And this, you would think what the scenario could have been, though, if they didn't go for a triple swing 1-by-1 to try to take out that last remaining player of Shinden previously. Yeah, you have a rifle round now, but at the cost of a round, you had a good lead to kick things off. You lost pistol, so it makes it difficult right now for Team Solid to really take a good control of their defensive side yet.
Well, weapons will be even this time around. 10-6 the count in round 17, and a pretty heavy-handed approach early on to A main here for Shinden, a team that has very, I would say, very cautious about running into trap plays. Not the case here. They step up, they clear the space, they get the orb, and they say, all right, now we can play the round.
And a storm lineup too to keep them at bay from trees, so you could start scaling up towards middle.
Good
That
info.
drone from Kona is going to be so much. Not really playing any anti-KO ulti though from the side of Solid too, which is surprising. You're still playing within your util for the side of Havoc.
Deploying drone.
Shinden are playing it very slowly. They're just leveraging util to play the mid round.
Good info.
They get their own info.
Good.
Yeah, exactly.
But the fragment does get some damage. Paranoid at peak. Whoa, expensive as an ult command will come out. That's from the offensive side.
30 seconds left.
PXS still finds one. The res is instantly in, so we stay 5v5 for now. PXS actually falls to a nano swarm, so now advantage to Shinden on their approach over in terms of numbers, but can they get through these smokes? And yes, they can. Shock Dart deals significant damage, but not enough to stop the play. And now we've got a 1v3 for Havoc in some lighter health pools, but that's a huge first. The sentry turret never becomes a part of the play. How do you go on to the rest from here? You've got one cyber cage, using it to jump up and over, but no, the sound cue is in. And how about this mini bounce back from Shinden to get us back to almost level terms?
Getting pretty close for sure. Both teams are doing a great job depicting the weaknesses of their opponents on the attack side. I think it just comes to show how the passive type of like holds that you have, giving up middle, playing one player towards wine instead of maybe trying to stack up another player to trade out with them when you're playing these aggressive angles. And trying to play contain towards tree is not good enough when you're playing on the KO null command. And now the first timeout coming on its third map for the side of Solid. Also gives an opportunity for all those 2 timeouts that we talked about before here, Shift.
Yeah.
By Shinden that they had to use on the first half. Now they have an opportunity to talk a little bit more here on the defensive side too.
Yeah. I'm going to bite my tongue here. Let's just it's supposed to be a defensive side of map here, Vans, based on the trends lately.
I do agree.
Both teams having some trouble. Both teams having some major trouble defensively.
Yeah. I mean, right now, when they're trying to both contest middle, it becomes a team deathmatch fight, which is kind of nice. But if you want to go into a macro style play, they are both teams kind of giving up a lot of that space, right? When you're playing slow side on defense, you're playing on extremities, you're still leaving a gap on middle, or if you're playing towards the forward pushes, you're playing solo. I almost feel right now that they could try to contest the map a little bit more. And this is also due to the fact that Solid, because of what has happened in that round number 16, doesn't allow Digizine to really get that second off out for them to really get into some stronghold on the defensive side. So you're probably going to have to think back on that round that Rekoida was able to win on a 1 versus 3 that they lost if Shinden's able to pull this through.
Well, this is a 5-man stack and likely hit towards B. The tools available on site are largely just a ghost and a sheriff. Knives are nearby though, and teleporting in is Rafa. But Shinden are committing, and whoa! We're not watching sidewalk. Knives trying to follow up, only finding one as DG's traded back. 4v3, and I don't know how you re-enter this site with a Bucky if no one's going to challenge you in arches. I don't think I was going to challenge him in arches. Spoiler alert. There we go. 10-8 the count, and what an absolute resurgence and momentum change for Shinden. Mercy.
And I think this is also the issue right now for the side of Solid that I'm noticing is the 2 times that we've been on Allure Buy or Ecos, we're not leveraging util on top of it to really try to get value off these stacks or whatnot, right? So even if you have a TP back towards the back of the site from Rafa, he didn't invest into a paranoia, so you can't really flash back out and try to fight with your team to try to pull back the push from the side of Shinden, sorry. So that's again allowing here the attack side to start closing that gap, and we end up having now a closer series. I'm here for it, but this should have been a little bit cleaner here from Solid with how decent that they looked from the moment that they got their gun round into the next.
Agreed. Plus defense is just defense on ascent, at least as of lately, but
yeah,
sometimes you just want it more. Tripwire going to be triggered over towards mid? No, actually, no. The Outrun doesn't hit it.
But they didn't break it, yeah.
Yeah.
So they have to use Shock Dart to break it, so that's one less trip to look into the B site. So it's a small win, though, for the side of the defense of Solid. And here's the op we were talking about. Finally available in the hands of Digizine again.
Oh, did they get too antsy here? Smoke out. Push up. Backing away. Door will try to close. Can Muri's find one? Fragment. Really good position right at the feet of Digizine.
So nice.
And they break the door, so the floodgates are open. And Rafa, brother, you can't chow this. Not by yourself. You need at least some sort of a reveal, and Conan doesn't have the timing of it up, so you got to back away and save. What an absolute display from Shinden.
A beautiful scale for sure. When you throw that smoke right into the tree, thinking that the opera is going to be at that spot, and you even throw a flash that not only confirms that you can't swing out from tree, but it also takes enough here into the front doorway that then forces Digizine back. So as you break the door and throw the molly, Digizine has no escape because he's already used a dash to already get back towards door, towards switch, trying to play a one and done, and he gets dominated in the process. That was Very, very nice by Shinden. Oh boy, I don't want to get back onto this right now, Shift, but again, I have to think about that 1v3 round by Rukode.
Yeah, no, actually though. Oh, whoa. I mean, this is getting a little out of hand here, Vance. Legitimately, this is another part of the series where you look at Team Solid and you just go, where is the identity? Like, nothing is working for them on this half. Not a single thing.
Mm-hmm. You've invested so much, or you try to save so much and try to get the op, and you got no value out of it. Despite that, Digizine is still on the top of the scoreboard, though, for Team Solid. So you are definitely asking a little bit more here from, you know, the supporting cast around how you could anchor out around these sites. But that's hard to do. Havoc's trying to anchor towards B site as a Cypher, but when they're getting rifle rounds, he's not really into the action because the default is happening more towards middle and A side, and he's forced to rotate and lose. But that's the thing too, you're not playing to get control here towards sight, and finally to do so. The pop flash from switch to double swing towards the outside. Now you got to start doubling up here on your weak side B.
Well, Conan's going to see just enough information to have Havoc finger on the trigger. Owl drone trying to scout. Smoke to block B main. But there's the lockdown. And what do you do from here if you're Team Solid? You got to get out of here. Knives for Snozy. Not initially good with the right click. Up close and personal. Woo, that's dirty. Digizine looking for an angle. A little bit of damage, but can't convert on to the actual elimination. And Shinden will get a plant at B. And they can just hold these positions. Hunter's Fury is going to follow here. Counteracted. Vi's able to respond out of nowhere. As Rube finds a follow-up elimination, both rifles try to back up through mid, and they will have at least a temporary exit. And honestly, 2v2, all of a sudden, you want to go for this again now.
Big flash by PXS could be used right here. So Rafa needs to move forward. They need to get the pop flash. It's too late.
Yeah. And with 5 HP in a dream, PXS waits. All it takes is one headshot. Looking for the teleport. Has he overguessed it, though? There's the info, but what a snap from David. And Shinden keep the hot streak alive. And whoa, hold on, we've got a tie game.
Dude, as you speak about Shinden, again, no pun intended, but he was running while shooting. And I think a straight bullet hit the last player in the shin, literally, for PXS, because they only have 5 HP, so you could permit yourself to run and gun and try to get that pick. That was so close in the end. This is a beautiful trap play in the beginning that I felt was missing a lot from both of these teams on the defense to try to get early space. As we move through, I also respect how Shinden entered towards this B site. Because if you think about the lockdown and the KJ that's somehow back in this composition where, you know, it's a debate on which is going to be the Sentinel, the best Sentinel pick here for that team or for any team. The fact that they went for the lockdown and went for the old school way, just flush and enter the site as soon as the lockdown goes down, just to catch your opponents off guard. Instead of waiting for the 3-2-1 and go through to guarantee an open site, you catch some players off guard, especially on how Snow dashed in and got that pick out to Havoc. And it allowed for them to at least get some sort of a decent post-plant scenario until Rafa almost got it done.
Vance, this was a 9-3 game at the half.
It was.
It is now 10-10. And the comeback effort's happening on the offensive side. And it almost, and I hesitate to say this because the universe loves to listen to us as casters and curse the universe, but this is all happening from the offensive side, which is surprising to say. And you kind of look at this with light armors, you say, I don't know if it's going to change much, but it needs to. It's Team Solid. They need something immediately.
And he might be now. They tried to use it with the Hunter's Fury in the defensive round on the mix buy-up, but that they got. And now it has to come down to the rifles. And you're seeing that it's different. We're now knifing. We're now trying to find some early information against Digizine on the line that allows for you to rotate a little bit more, play the buddy system, trying to find the 1 minute mark info, which it seems to potentially be Conan droning out. And that might bait out a swing that allows here, PXS to get a pick. Here comes that drone. But it looks like Snow didn't want to commit to push forward, so he's going to hold that back for a bit. We're going to a stalemate. It's the mid round that's going to be important right now, but with that position that you currently have from Digizine in front of that B side, I love that we're calling the over rotate towards A, at least for now, because that might be where it might finish here for Shinden.
I mean, they have bled the defensive Sova pretty much dry, plus a knife is out from that.
Yeah.
Team Solid, nervy around mid. Dark cover to block main. Cam to look over towards tree. Good on the initial blind as the Paranoia does what it's intended to do, and Havoc follows up. 5v3 offense running out of time. They have got to commit to this if we're going to go at all. And well, with that reveal, Rube will be traded. Good flash over the top, but safety by way of dark cover gives some maybe momentary help, but not enough. And Team Solid will finally get another round on the board, 11-10.
Yeah, no shenanigans of swinging a 1 versus X after time and dying. At least they commit and get the kill. And that's off beautiful anchoring by both Havoc and Rafa towards that A site. Again, we were just mentioning before into mid round, there hasn't been too much inserts on a default on that B side from the attack. So it allows here for Team Solid to get some good information towards that B main and to close that gap. Gets your position, your pieces at the right spot. And now finally regaining the lead.
Oh, big reveal. But Viris can still stay here, grab the orb. That'll give him the null command for an execute opportunity. Or if they can find clean entryway, you can stop the retake early.
And Havoc's trying to run as far as he can right now because he was expecting this null command to plow out towards middle. So he still wants to be in range to keep his trips up, but now it's moving towards the A site. At least he's there to drop down and help out with Rafa.
Well, Murias will be back to life. Team Solid will be pushed back over into hell. Timing good. 2 for 2 though, the exchange. 3v3 situation. Paranoia comes out late. And oh my goodness, Vi just jumps into the action and says, I don't care if I'm nearsighted, you're right in front of me. So now it's just down to Conan for a 1v3. And he's really far outside the picture with really not much to play with.
That was so hard to do. They did their best for both anchors inside the site there for Solid. But the null command being thrown by Maurice doesn't allow for you to throw a site smoke to continue after these trades for both Havoc and Rafa. So now this is a scenario where you have to save for Conan, and it's 11-11 for the third map. It took a huge ult though for Shinden to really get in to that site, because everything else in terms of positioning and plays from the side of Solid was actually super nice on defense. Now I could reset things a bit going into the next round, because now you have a couple of ults that could trade out between Shinden and Solid for this important round number 23 coming up.
Wow. I mean, yeah, it takes it all, but like, hey, who cares? We're in the late game here, and that is about as good as it gets in terms of the null command stifling, like you mentioned, the control on the site, and then you burst through tree door, and that play right there is massive to avoid the paranoia, which was just unable to come out when you wanted to.
Yeah, that's because of the null command again, right?
Yep.
As soon as he has it available for Rafa, he throws it as soon as possible, but you've already scaled so much into the site, so it doesn't get the best value to anchor up towards A.
David, quick teleport up towards the orb, a little bit deeper.
Ooh. Look at the
No
econ
trap
as well, Shift.
Yeah.
This is a big buy for Solid. They lose this one here, they're back onto a forced buy of nothing versus Shin, who could buy for the rest of this regulation.
Spike drop.
Patience though, as a couple of tags had gotten sent to David. Resetting with a minute on the clock over towards B main, and if Rube gets information here on the KO, that would be absolutely massive. Nano swarm out, underhanded fragment, kind of similarly so, blocks the movement into B main, but the defense doesn't know this is a full hit yet. So here comes the pop flash, here comes the hit. Fragment over the top is actually pretty well placed, to be fair, but the knife reveals, and now it's just down to, can you find the kills in the site? And oh no, Shinden was waiting to see if Team Solid would come through market or the defensive spawn. Instead, it's going to be just spam from the site that turns things around. Team Solid with the numbers, looking for a flawless as David could not find anything, and it will be Team Solid on match point.
Oh wow, that was clean. That was very clean. When you would think here that the paranoia on the attack exit was going to be perfect for Shinden, that molly being thrown right in front at their feet doesn't allow for them to scale behind a dash here of Snow. Beautifully played by PXS to delay. And then when you swing towards that that recon dart, you're 5 into the sight pretty much here for Shinden, but where's the control to break the dart?
Exactly.
To come through.
Like, if we're going to stack and sit Boathouse, we have to have some sort of a counter protocol for anything like a reveal like that.
Yep.
Like, just stuck in indecision. So now you've got a Stinger online for Shinden, but a Hunter's Fury as well. On the other side, just the Neural Theft will be utilized. But the op for Deejin is huge.
Yeah, this will be a 4-player slam with a late lurk from Rukoide. So the most standard play that we could really do here with this Hunter's Fury potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that Smoke's gonna say differently.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Still gonna try to go for it.
I was gonna say Vi, I'm sure would be loving to use this Hunter's Fury as a post-plant defense, but may have to utilize this to get in, and we're jump peeking for what? Deejin finds the first. Rafa in the corner finds one more for free, and Shinden are falling apart. The Hunter's Fury gets nothing. We're teleporting into B arches, and David has to sit here and wait for everyone else to rotate over.
But you get ulted, so now they have all the information. Now the door is gonna get closed at least.
30 seconds left.
But look at how you're pinned for Vi right by the shed.
Yeah.
You can't even cross back towards B.
He is so stuck. Good dark cover as well. So now that mid-market defense, you've got to just move it. You got to move it. And they're going to get into sight for the plant. No immediate contest. Team Solid saying we'll play our numbers. Rube finds the first, but nothing behind it. It's just down to 1. Vi for the 1v4. He's stuck in a corner. And as he drops off the box, Gunnan is there, finds the kill, and in a slobber knocker, Team Solid is able to survive the comeback effort for Shinden with a couple of rounds in a row at the end.